Hello, my name's Ken Buckner. I'm here today with my wife Karen. We're the founders of Come Go With Us. We are beginning our new newsletter format right now, and this is a newsletter for February 2025. What do you think? We got Victoria Falls flowing behind us.
Finally, I'm looking forward to seeing it when we get back on March 17th.
Makes people think we're right there in Africa, but we're not. We're just in the throes of technology allowing this to appear this way. But next month we'll be for sure in Zambia with live Zambian scenes behind us, because we're going to travel on the 16th of March to go back to Zambia. February was not all that busy because of the rains were so heavy in Africa this time of year, and I'll talk a little bit about that when we talk about the drought. But needless to say, there was not a lot of ministry took place here, but the ministry in the States was busy. We did 4 or 5 different presentations at churches around the country.
It's so fun to be able to go to our local churches and tell them what we're doing in Zambia. And we have made so many precious friends over the years, and Dina and Scott Altman are one of them, from the pastor at Tilly Swamp Baptist Church. And so we enjoy the fellowship with them. We had lunch with them. So it's a great time to be able to fellowship with our friends from these churches.
And a new friend to me, old friend for Karen, Rodney Norris with his house ministries. We spoke at that church, and I was surprised.
Rodney and I have been friends for probably over 40 years, and when he invited us to his house ministries church, I was tickled to death because they're such precious friends there. I only knew a few of them, and it's a very small church. So if you're interested in a small, quaint community of people in Conway, that's a great place to be.
They're very strong in their prayer and their hopes for coming. They've been following us for a very long time. And along with those 2 churches, we went up to Roanoke, Virginia, and spoke at Mineral Springs Baptist Church. We probably spoke 4 or 5 times there. We spoke to the men. We spoke to all 3 services, giving them an update on what's going on in Zambia, and a commission to or a promise to continue on and to bring back good news for them for the following year. Another new partner is Shadow Mountain Community Church out of San Diego, California. That's Dr. David Jeremiah's church, if you're keeping up with the mega churches. This year will be their second time sending a team to Zambia. And the first time they sent 35 people. And among that 35 people group was some constructors, there were some pastor trainers, and a large contingency from the Shadow Mountain High School called Christian High. They sent several students for the sports ministry, and this year they're planning to bring 16 students plus 4 chaperones, and primarily we're going to deal with sports ministry. They helped us get that started about 2 years ago, and I'm very happy to show them what we have continued on with after their introduction. And part of that commitment from Shadow Mountain was to help us continue to build the intern village. The intern village is where we want to bring interns to give them a place to sleep. We're trying to use 3 containers that are on the second story of our conference hall, and on one side is 2 apartments, on the other side is 2 apartments. In the middle would be a kitchen and living room area. We've already finished 2 of those apartments complete, and we just lack the funds to finish the rest of that project. And it looks like we're well on our way to having those funds in hand when we get back to Zambia this coming March.
We enjoy our interns, and they're such a big help to me because there's cooking, there is often shifting in the cleaning, and transitioning when teams come. So if you're interested in being an intern in Zambia, Africa, please let us know.
An intern or long and short-term missionaries. We're looking for all of those people to come and participate in what goes on with Come Go With Us, because we're getting so busy. We need a lot of help from the Americans as well as a lot of help from the Zambians, and we're getting that. What I alluded to a minute ago was what we call drought recovery. Zambia experienced a horrific drought over the past 12 months. And you've been keeping track of that. A lot of you have contributed to boreholes or wells, some for food that we've tried to provide. We have tried to shift all of that effort to boreholes so that we can provide a borehole or a well for a church. And rather than feed the millions of people, which we don't have there's no way we could do that, we can provide boreholes for the various churches that we support so that that church can plant a maize field, they can irrigate that field in times of drought, and have food on hand for the widows and the vulnerables of that church, as well as a place for local people to come and gather water. And that builds the church's ability to serve the community. So that we think that's the best way to channel our funds. So this year we have a target of 10 boreholes to drill. And like last year we had 4, I think. This year we plan to build 10. The first one will be in the village of Njabalombi, and that was sponsored by the Georgetown Rotary Club this past December. And we're very much looking forward to that because we're going to be on the field live and in live video back to the Georgetown Rotary Club when the well is drilled this coming April. So that's a big plan we have in the future. We had another anonymous donor just recently donate money for another borehole, as well as 6 soccer tournaments for our sports tournament. Now, sports ministry, I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute, but we got those donated just the other day. And a previous donor has helped us with our ongoing construction with the solar system. The solar system is designed to help us get to the point where we are independent of local power, local electricity. We're not 100% there yet, but we're probably in the 90s. So we're looking forward very much to what we can do this coming year, with or without power that may or may not be available to us from Zambia. And it's looking like it'll probably be 2026 before everything is back to normal with power. Although the drought is now seems to be ending, we've been watching the weather forecast, and we've been talking to Michael and the guys in Zambia, and they've been getting a lot of rain. As a matter of fact, just this weekend, Lusaka, the capital city, was 400 houses were inundated with floodwaters. So there's not only have we got the rain we're supposed to get, we're getting abundance of rain. So that drought seems to have turned around, and we seem to have made that transition with it and rode that train through the difficult time. And it looks like we're headed towards good days ahead in terms of electricity with our generators and with our solar system being intact. Another part of our ministry that is growing and has become something we've added to Come Go With Us in the last 2 or 3 years is a soccer tournament or sports ministry, sports evangelism, where we set up a tournament for 8 teams, and we provide everything they need for a great tournament. Trophies, the Red Cross is there with their gurneys so they can pick up the wounded and take them off the field. They get a little bit of everything. They get top-notch referees. We feed them a meal. We feed them plenty of water. We give them a great tournament so that they come to the tournament with the expectation of quality. But what they find out when they get there is we're giving them the gospel, we're giving them skills demonstration, we're giving them counseling, and then we repeat that in between every game. Skills demonstration, the gospel, and a game. And we repeat that until we get to the championship game, where we do have a sermon and a altar call. And we're seeing tremendous results every time we have those tournaments. We had over 20 tournaments last year, and we saw in every tournament there was 30-40% of the players out of 160 players each time accept Jesus Christ as their Savior. So we're seeing the benefits of soccer tournament being very effective on the mission field. And also other areas or other things are taking place in Zambia, like the ladies' Bible study. You weren't there, but they've been continuing.
The ladies, I'm so proud of them. It's just 10 or 12 ladies that get together, and they invite their neighbors to come to the ladies' Bible study. And they have asked if they can go out and do ministry now. So we, as a group, go into town, and there's a mother shelter at the hospital. We minister to those ladies there. We have been to the old people's home and ministered to those people. So I am especially proud of these ladies that just came together in a small community and said, we want to do something. And they go in the name of Come Go With Us, in the name of Jesus, of course, but they come as a part of Come Go With Us. So they're very proud to wear their shirts and go do the work in town. So it's a joy to be with them.
Yeah, we're trying to work ourselves out of a job. We think that's the goal of missions on the mission field. And these ladies and our staff are proving that that's down the road. It won't be long before we can turn the keys over to them, and they can probably continue right on.
We haven't talked about Good News Club.
We didn't talk about the Good News Club. What is the Good News Club?
Many of you have been following for years, but for those of you who are not familiar with the Good News Club, it is a group of children that come together on Saturday morning, and we started with just 60 kids, and we're now up to between 450 and 500 kids every Saturday. And they are learning Bible verses. They're learning music in the local language as well as English. And these are worship songs. They play games. They just enjoy coming together. And we have been together about 12 years now or longer.
Seems like a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're really raising funds right now for a place for the kids to gather. The previous shelter that we had to be dismantled due to some problems with our church. But we're looking for funds to raise another shelter so that they can gather under the one roof. They're gathering right now every Saturday under a temporary shelter, which is basically shade cloth, which is doing a good job. But we want them to have a little bit more of a place to call their own. So we'll be working on that.
I think it's important, too, to say thank you to so many people that donate for our Good News Club store. People send book bags and underwear and socks and school supplies. So you cannot imagine how much they appreciate it and how much I appreciate it. So a big thank you to all of you that donate.
Another major part of our ministry that has begun already are the bush trips. And we've heard, you may have heard about bush trips over the years, where we go out into the bush for 2 or 3 days, conduct ministry, video, photograph, document that as a video, and the donor of that bush trip gets a copy of that video to show how they were the ones who actually initiated the trip. We just did it in their behalf. So they get a documentary at the end of each bush trip that we took. Last year we did about 30, and we did about 24 soccer tournaments. And this year we've probably received 4 to 6 donations for bush trips for the coming year. And I know just the other day we had one donor donated for 6 soccer tournaments. So we're well on our way to getting started with both of those ministries. And those seem to be the bush trips and the soccer ministry. And the Good News Club is kind of the bread and butter of what we do outside of pastor training, which we've been very successful in doing training with a lot of pastors over the years. We've got about 65 to 100 pastors in our area that we work with every year, and that number is growing. Outside of just odds and ends, I know Michael has been strong with the prison ministry, even though this year has started without us being there. He's been there on a weekly basis. And Brighton was telling me that over half of the prison population now is taking the Bible training program, which is a free course that we give to lay people and pastors and anyone who wants to take it. It's free for the Zambians. It's a 36-week course, a 36-lesson course that teaches them the great doctrines of the Bible. And so we're doing it. We're very strong in that and giving that to the people. We think we have somewhere in the neighborhood of 3,000 plus students, and right now we're in the prison to over half of the population of prison. So that's very powerful where we are going. That's just about the nuts and bolts of what we're working on, getting ready for 2025. As we go through 2020, as we go through February. A month of high rainy season, a lot of rain, a lot of mud in Zambia. Not a lot of ministry can be conducted there. That's why we're here in the States and getting ready to go back. as we get ready to go back on March 16th, we hope you continue to track us, to keep track of the newsletters as they come along, and what we always say together.
Come go with us.